So I'm guessing that most of you found this video for one of two reasons. One, you're about to experience Midsummer for the first time and you want to know what you're getting yourself into. Or two, you've just watched that frightening Midsummer film that was released a couple of years back and you want to know if the truth is anywhere near as spooky and terrifying.
What is it?
It has special properties.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you have come to the right place as your self-appointed guide to navigating the twists and turns of all things Swedish culture. I will try and make sense of this cultural phenomenon for you right here. So grab a shot of snaps and hold on to your flower crowns because we're about to dive into the weird and colourful world of Midsummer. Yes guys, I'm back and today we are going to be digging right to the heart, right to the core of Swedish culture. Over the next few minutes it's going to be a roller coaster adventure, but you are going to come out ready to join in with the Midsummer dance just like everybody else. So first things first, if you haven't got a car of your own, you're going to want to get on the phone to Circle K and hire one because to take part in Midsummer you need to get out of the city. And those electric scooters that are cropping up all over the place do pretty well, but I don't think they'll get you to the country in time for Midsummer. Yes, Midsummer is like the great migration of the Swedes. There's a mass exodus from all of the towns as everyone heads out into the countryside to really make the most of this cultural phenomenon. And you're probably going to want to leave the day before because Midsummer Afton or Midsummer Eve is celebrated on a Friday night and you do not want to be late. We all know Swedes appreciate punctuality. And when you wake up out in the countryside on that fateful Friday morning to the sound of birdsong and the occasional grazing moose out in the meadow, you're not going to have long to rest and relax because you need to get to work on your flower crown. So throw on your shoes and prance out into the nearest field to pick the daisies and other wild flowers. But remember, keep it simple. We're in Sweden. You need to be understated. People don't like it if you're too brash. I mean, we've all heard the phrase that nobody likes a show off, but it couldn't be more true here. Modesty is definitely the word of the day. But if you have allergies and the idea of getting up close and personal to every flower in the forest does not sound like your cup of tea, don't worry, I've got you sorted. You're still going to need those shoes, but you can ditch the rest of the clothes because you're going swimming in the local lake. Because there really is no better way to get a fresh perspective on the day than to head out and freeze your butt off in the local lake. Because let me tell you what, if there's one thing I can guarantee you about Midsummer, it's not going to be warm, it's going to rain. I don't think there's been a sunny Midsummer since about 1303, so at least you can guarantee that. And once you've dried yourself off, you are just about ready to head into the local village or recreational area where you will see lots of Swedish people amassing around a tall pole that's been erected out of the ground. But don't worry guys, there is no need for concern. This is not some sort of satanic ritual, and I don't think they've burnt witches here in Sweden for at least several hundred years. No, this is the infamous Midsummer pole. Perhaps consider downing your first shot of snaps before you arrive because you're about to get your dancing shoes on and prance and dance around this pole for at least the next hour. But perhaps keep your twerking to yourself. This is a family occasion. And by the time you've fulfilled your social obligations, I'm convinced you've worked up a bit of an appetite. So good job, it's finally time to retreat back to the family home where you'll be presented with a menu that has pretty much got every single Swedish dish they could possibly think of wrapped up in one meal. Yes, I'm not really sure how to explain this. Picture your traditional Christmas dinner, inject it with steroids, and you're getting somewhere close to what you're about to be faced with on Midsummer. Countless dishes that would never go together at any other time of the year placed next to each other across the table. We're talking everything from salmon to a spare rib to pickled herring to potatoes. It just doesn't make sense. And they'll tell you that the hodgepodge of dishes you see in front of you is the result of a tradition from when Sweden was quite a poor country and the family just threw together all of the resources they have and created some sort of a dinner out of it. But if you think about it, that doesn't really match what we've heard about Sweden being this really modest, humble country because they've literally put everything that they own on a table for you to eat. And I would really advise you against gulping down your drink too quickly because if you're hanging out with some traditional Swedes, every time they fill up your drink is an excuse to jump into song. And let me tell you now, it's not going to be an ABBA classic, so if you don't know your Swedish folk songs, maybe keep your drink half full all the time. And when you've had just about enough excitement to last you all the way through to Christmas, let me tell you what, for the ladies out there, there's a treat in store. Yes, to all of the single ladies out there, on your way home, you're going to want to make sure that you pick at least 7 different varieties of flower because you're going to need it tonight. Just before you tuck yourself up in bed, make sure you place all of those flowers that you've collected right underneath your pillow because legend says that in the evening, in your dream, you'll be visited by your future husband. And if I was to hazard a guess, I would be willing to bet that there is some sort of strong correlation between the amount of alcohol that young lady has drunk and how wild her expectations are in that dream. But I'm not here to judge, so give it a go for yourselves this Midsummer Eve and let me know in the comments below if you meet the man of your dreams. And for all of the guys out there, I've got nothing, I'm afraid. You're just gonna have to sit around and wait till some girl approaches you and tells you that she saw you in her dream last night. But there you have it. It's now safe to say that you are fully equipped and ready to go for your first Midsummer experience. So now you've got to let me know what you most enjoy about Midsummer, or what you're most looking forward to. Let me know down in the comments below, and then follow up with me a couple of weeks later once Midsummer's out of the way and tell me what you thought of it. Anyway, that's all I've got time for in this week's video. I hope you really enjoyed this. If you haven't subscribed yet, it'd be really awesome if you could drop me a like while you're down there, and then turn on that notification bell so you are the first person to know as soon as I put out a new video. They're coming twice a week at the minute. Lots of content for you to enjoy, and it'd be really cool to have you along for the journey. So until the next one, all I want to say for now is thank you and goodbye, guys.